Welcome to the Action Zone. This is a review for the Ben 10 Omniverse episode, It Was Then. I'm Ethan.
I'm Eric.
I'm Mike.
Alright. So now Kyber's back again. He is hunting Ben at the Burger Barn from Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, which has been redesigned to look more like a barn. Kyber's pet turns into Slamworm to fight Ben as Diamond Head, who just wants a triple cheeseburger. Slamworm escapes again, and Ben goes to Rook's truck asking why he didn't get help. Rook replies he didn't ask, and Ben starts to wonder who's been hunting him lately after the past episodes with Crab Dozer, Bug Lizard. Ben starts to suspect it's Dr. Animal. Rook doesn't know who he is, so he looks him up on the extranet, which is an alien version of the internet.
So then, later, Ben and Rook head to Animo's cell just to see if he was there, and they find him missing. Then they find a secret passage hidden right behind the toilet, and they only found it due to little ants going back and forth from within the cell out behind the toilet. So Ben and Rook climb in through the secret passage to end up on the inside of a sewage line, where they find more little ants. They go up the wall. Ben's flashlight instantly goes onto a mutant ant. This mutant ant can shoot fire out of its mouth, apparently, and Ben goes echo echo. Echo echo gets the ant's attention after fighting first Rook. Then Ben gets to a nice wide open area to fight off the ant, and Ben uses something similar to the sound chamber and destroys the ants. Then more ants come in, and then they notice Ben and Rook, then leave. Ben and Rook later jump on their backs, and Rook makes a comment about how ants outnumber humans 1 to 1,000,000. Later, Rook makes a joke about how ants are found on every continent but Antarctica. Anyway, Ben and Rook come out of the sewage lines and out into the desert, where they find a giant-sized anthill. Rook doesn't see it at first, but Ben does, and he's kind of a smart aleck about it. And then Rook remembers in his reading that ants will attack you unless you smell like them. So Rook throws pheromones, or ant poo, at Ben and puts him on himself. And then they go to fight Animo.
Okay, so they make their way into the cave. They almost get spotted as intruders by a mutant ant, but they're spared. They make their way deeper into the anthill, seeing a few larvae, and eventually find a giant sort of raised gun-looking machine being controlled by Animo. Animo has a new look, which is more true to his original series look. He's wearing red goggles, a trench coat, and his brain is now visible. Ben confronts Animo, saying he's the one sending the mutant aliens on him. Animo replies, saying he doesn't know what Ben means, and then he admits that he wasn't going to phase 2 of his plan. Then Animo reveals his plans, which is basically he's going to turn every ant that he's able to control. We then get a cutaway to Kyber and his pet, who have made their way towards the ant. Rook then notices a clone mice power core and leaves Ben to battle Animo solo. Ben tries for Swamp Fire once again, but this time gets Wrath, who looks great in my opinion. He has hardly any change at all. Animo summons his ant army with his new mind control ability, and we see Wrath battling the ants and hear a few of his moves, I guess, which a few of them are Incursion Ambassador and Serious Butt Kicking. After Wrath beats a few ants to a pulp, he's outnumbered about 1 to 5 and gets tackled by them.
After the mutant ants have tackled Wrath, Rook comes in after grabbing an explosion machine. The name slips my mind, but Rook shoots off the ants off of Wrath and grabs Wrath using his grappling hook. Then Wrath kind of gets pissed and starts yelling to Rook about his feelings about Rook. Then you see the ants. Then Ben changes back into himself, and then the ants start to charge Ben and Rook. Right as the ants are about to tackle, Ben turns into Crash Hopper. And Crash Hopper kicks off all of the ants. Animo then becomes the Ant King or whatever, or King of Ants. And as Ben becomes Crash Hopper, he doesn't know the alien name yet, so he jumps up too high and too hard and crashes into the part of the ceiling / wall and creates his name right then and there. While Crash Hopper and Animo are kind of running around fighting each other, Rook goes and deals with the explosive on the second story. So then Crash Hopper, he just kind of jumps around place to place, avoiding Animo's lasers, and ends up on the second floor with Rook. Then the scene kind of switches to Kyber's pet, and Kyber tells his pet to go forth and flush him out. At that point, Animo's already on the second floor due to an elevator, and he starts talking to Ben. Kyber's pet joins in on the second floor, and Ben talks about how he can tell his mutant dog to stop attacking him. Animo tells him it's not his pet. Kyber's pet turns into something that I think is called Musculator? Mutilator? Musculator?
Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced.
Okay, it's one of those names. And Animo thinks he can control Musculator, but in the end cannot. Later, Crash Hopper jumps around and goes into Musculator's external stomach, which is around his throat. His name slips me. Rook. Rook's grappling hook grabs on to Crash Hopper and pulls him out. Crash Hopper realizes that he cannot stop Musculator using Crash Hopper, but he remembers the ants. So he hops on over to Animo, grabs his ant helmet that controls the ants, and breaks it. The ants are then relinquished from their spell over Animo, and they all attack Musculator. At some point, Musculator changes back and runs on back to Kyber. Then as Dr. Animo starts to run away, Ben and Rook both stop him, and later on, Animo is put back into his cell. Then, Ben and Rook start to question who the alien dog belongs to. The end.
Yeah. This episode was pretty interesting. Not the best use of aliens. I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of Echo's new design with the thing on his stomach, him gaining weight, and the omnitrix on his head.
In the more rectangle-ish head shape instead of an oval. I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah. Also, they do a lot of jokes around this episode as well. Kind of a failure if you ask me. But also, we do have a young Ben flashback. Because, because Animo...
How Ben would always beat Animo in every single fight.
Yeah. Rook doesn't believe Animo is crazy, but later on he learns out he is. Alright.
In my opinion, this whole episode was probably one of the best fillers so far that we've had. But it could have been better.
Because we saw Kyber and his dog. Alright.
Michael?
Yeah, I think it was good. I like the fact that we saw Animo. He's one of my favorite villains, non-alien villains, and it kind of ticked me off that we were all expecting to see Arctic. That really ticked me off.
Yeah, because in the credits it said Arctic One was going to be in it, along with our TV guides, which really pissed a lot of people off after it. It's stupid.
All in all, I think we all agreed that this episode should be a 7 out of 10.
Can you just say one more thing before we wrap up? I like how Animo is back to his old look with the goggles, the green skin. Because in Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, he was all buff, his skin was all back to normal, like white, and his eyes weren't yellow anymore. But
he looked too natural. And now he's back to his older looks.
Yeah, that really ticked me off a bit with his look, man. So, yeah, we don't know what we're going to review next time because the Ben 10 episode got leaked thanks to Australia and Asia. So, we'll decide later on. We could review Young Justice. We'll decide on that later. Anyway, that's all for the video. Stay gold.
Thanks for watching and subscribe.